to the OHIO podcast, the place where Buckeye Nation gets loud, proud, and the Pod Squad gets downright rowdy. I'm your host, the Wild Man, Chris Wilds, and today we're going to continue on a topic that TG got me started on Monday night during my call-in show. TG called in and she started off by asking me how I truly felt about the 2025-2026 Ohio State Buckeyes team. What was my honest opinion? Now, despite my concerns I've always had about Ryan Day in the past, and the fact that I know he still has to get over the scum hump, so to speak, one word came to mind. Maybe it sounds hypocritical coming from me, but it's a word I used prior to last season. It's a word I used after Ryan Day proved me wrong and went out there and took this team to a national championship last season. That word is dynasty. That's right, baby. Tonight we are talking dynasty. After winning it all in 2024, your Ohio State Buckeyes are locked, they are loaded, and they are ready to do it again in 2025. But don't take my word for it. Let me break it down and prove to you why this team should be the betting favorite to run it back this season. And that breakdown is going to start out with this. Let's compare our quarterbacks. Will Howard, much love. Love that man to death. A warrior. The transfer came in. He led us to glory in 2024. He was steady. He was gritty. He was experienced. And he was the toughest son of a gun to ever lace up a pair of cleats and play quarterback at The Ohio State University. But we've moved on. Will's now a Steeler, and Julian Sayin is the heir apparent. The former five-star from Alabama brings tremendous arm talent, mobility, and swagger. And let's not forget, he's had a full year in Ryan Day's offense. Think about that. A full year to just sit back and learn. So if you're telling me that an athletic quarterback with higher upside as far as arm talent and an elite group of weapons around him can't at least match, if not surpass, what Howard is doing, please, you know nothing about football if that's what you think. This isn't a rebuild. This is a reload. And Sayin is the cannon that we ride to another ring. Make no mistake about it. Then we move over to our offensive line. Years offensive line was a concern. But with 4 starters returning, this group went from a question mark last season to a strength. And even though Tegra, Severveld, Hinsman, Montgomery didn't start the whole season, they stepped up when it counted the most. They got valuable game time experience against the best teams in college football. This line dominated the college football playoff. And there's no reason not to expect them to dominate this season. Speaking of domination, let's talk wide receivers. Without a doubt, the best wide receiver group in the country. We're talking Jeremiah Smith. We're talking Carnell Tate, who's on the verge of being a superstar. Smith, already a generational talent. Ennis, just waiting to bust out, probably taking that slot role from Emeka Egbuka. Don't sleep on this guy. This is a wide receiver room that may rival or even surpass that which had Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. 3 first-round picks. Don't be surprised if we're not looking at that again. And guys, that didn't even count Quincy Porter, Mylan Graham, Bryson Rogers, and all the other guys that we have in that room, man. This is an elite group, and it is deep. And oh yeah, if we didn't have enough weapons in the passing game, all Ryan Day and his team did was go out and get Max Clare. The best tight end available in the portal from Purdue. This guy is a serious, serious weapon. Led Purdue in receiving last year. We've got him in the passing game. We've got two elite blockers in tight ends, Kazmarek and Christian. We got Jelani Thurman who showed flashes last season. A great addition, a great room there as well. And then let's talk running backs. Because is this group going to be Trey, Quinshon? Who knows? You're talking about two guys who were top 50 picks. But what I do know is this: James People, C.J. Donaldson, and yes, Bo Jackson. Power, speed, fresh legs, talent to no end. This trio potentially gives us one of the nastiest run games in the country. And these guys are all good. Peoples has been waiting on this opportunity. C.J. Donaldson, man, I don't know if you've seen him or not, but since dropping that weight and come over to the Buckeyes, this guy is a different type of runner. And Bo Jackson, what can be said about this young man that hasn't been said already? Elite talent coming in as a true freshman. Let's jump over the defense. What have we got defensively? JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer are gone. But you know what? That's okay. Because at times I think that defensive end combination, as great as they were pigeonholed by Jim Knowles' schemes. Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry are ready. We got CJ Hicks sliding down there. We have Logan George. We have the kid who transferred in from North Carolina. In the middle, we got Edric Houston and Caden McDonald. Will Smith Jr., Jason Moore right now, set to back them up. Very solid, I think, front line. Kenyatta Jackson, I think, is poised. I truly believe that. Linebackers, elite. If you don't think that Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese are elite, you're out of your mind. And oh yeah, behind them we got Peyton Pierce. Did I mention freshman Riley Pettyjohn? He's just turning heads already. We got Garrett Stover, a tremendously fast young man. He's in our 3 deep, as is another freshman in TJ Alford. Guys, deep room, elite talent at the top of it. Our secondary is the best in the country, hands down, not even close. We got Jermaine Matthews Jr. taking over for Denzel Burke. We got the leadership and experience of Davison Igbinosun. We got Lorenzo Styles Jr. playing that nickelback spot. And I'll tell you, I look for big things from him. Then at the safeties, you got Jalen McClain and the best defensive player in the country, Caleb Downs. And that's just our first tier. Depth is a premium here at Ohio State. We've got freshman phenom Devin Sanchez. We got Aaron Scott Jr. We got Bryce West. We got Miles Lockhart. We've got backup safeties in Fahim Delane. We've got Malik Hartford Jr. Guys, top to bottom, this roster is more complete and I believe deeper than last year's roster. Let that sink in. This team, this roster, may be more talented and have more depth than the roster that won the national championship last season. So the question is, who can stop them in the Big Ten? I'm going to give you the answer. Nobody. Nobody. Michigan has lost their identity. They're mired in a cheating scandal. They're pinning all their hopes to a guy who's never taken a snap in college football. Their identity is gone. Connor's magic clipboard is gone. Their savior Harbaugh abandoned them. And their head coach is likely looking at suspension. Penn State, they pulled off a coup getting Jim Knowles. They've got some talent returning, no doubt about it. Drew Aller goes into the season probably the best quarterback in the Big Ten. Doesn't come out that way. I just don't see it. He doesn't have the receivers to get the job done. Running game, they're solid. They're solid. Good offensive line. Most of them are a couple years into the program. But here's the problem. James Franklin's still their head coach. He'll Franklin this thing. So Penn State, step away. Oregon, maybe. We might see them in the Big Ten title game. But you know what? Indianapolis ain't Autzen. Indianapolis was home of the Ohio State Buckeyes right up until the cheating scandal. It was their home away from home. And we're coming to take it back. So you might as well not even make that trip cross country, because Oregon, we're just going to treat you like we did in the Rose Bowl last year. USC, last I saw, USC's defense was still allergic to making tackles. So to me, I think the path is clear. Last year's schedule, brutal. At Oregon, at Penn State, versus Indiana, 3 top 5 games in the regular season. Playoff against Tennessee. Playoff against Oregon, the number 1 team in the nation at the time. A road game at Texas. And then, of course, we faced off versus Notre Dame for the national title. This year, we get an early test. We get a rematch with Texas, but it's in Columbus. Texas lost just as much, if not more, than we did. I'm telling you right now, guys, double-digit win for the Buckeyes in this one. Maybe the toughest game on our schedule comes on October 11th when the Buckeyes travel to Illinois. Guys, don't sleep on Illinois. Illinois is a top 15 team right now. I truly believe that. I also believe that Ohio State's going to knock the crap out of them. Then we get Penn State and Columbus. Again, Franklin's going to Franklin this thing. I'm not even worried about it. Then we travel to the outhouse to face the cheaters up north. Ryan Day fixes it. He fixes the egregious wrong right here. And after Notre Dame is hit with 3 vacated victories versus Ohio State, Ryan Day goes to 2-1 for his career versus the scum. Book it. We avoid Oregon. We avoid USC, with the exception of maybe a trip to the title game for one of those two. We get the Penn State Kittens at home. And let's be honest, Texas, Penn State, everybody else who's coming into Columbus, I'm telling you, ain't nobody beating this team in the shoe. Nobody. It's not happening. So why this season has to end in a repeat? It's not a will. It's not a should. It has to. Combination of returning talent, a perceived upgrade in the skill level at quarterback, elite coaching, a manageable schedule. Simply put, Ohio State's position better this year than it was last year. We have the best defensive backfield in the country. We have the most dangerous receiving corps in the country. We have a dynamic young quarterback, a loaded D-line rotation, an experienced offensive line. We have a chip on our shoulder to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. It was the start of a dynasty. Saban's out. All hail Day. It's the beginning of a dynasty. And you want to talk legacy? Julian Sayin has the chance to go down as a legend. Ryan Day can put his face right up there on the Mount Rushmore of Ohio State coaches. Buckeye Nation, the Buckeyes are going to be rocking South Beach come January 19th, 2026. Make no mistake about it. So what do you think? Buckeye Nation, Pod Squad, let's hear you. Can we run it back? Is this 2025 team better than the 2024 national championship team? Hit that like button. Smash subscribe. Drop your comments and takes in the comment section. We read everyone, guys. Until next time, this is the Wildman Chris Wilds reminding you. OH. IO. Go Bucks.